The Annals of Black History. Tennis. 3 female champions. Agnes Lawson, a scholarship athlete at Prairie View College in Texas, met Robert W. Johnson in 1932 while he was completing his medical internship there. She showed him how to swing a racket, how to make contact with a ball, and she patiently worked out with him every day he wanted to play until he became consistent. By the end of his internship, that in 1933, he promised to help her tennis game when he had the money to do so. 1940 was that year when he invited Lawson to Lynchburg, Virginia to practice with his college boys, who put her through a rigorous training program prescribed by Dr. Johnson. She played ATA tournaments on the weekends and drilled all week long. Conditioning drills as well. Tournaments on the weekend. The ATA organization was unique in that the weekends were the time for most tournaments to take place. In the middle of August, the organization would host its national championships on the college grounds of an HBCU, a historically black campus. In 1940, Agnes Lawson won her only women's singles title in the ATA Nationals, thanks to Dr. Johnson. His next protege was a woman named Catherine Jones. When she married, her last name was Irvis, so she combined the two, Catherine Jones Irvis. In fact, Jones Irvis was his mixed doubles partner, and in 1945, he was ready to train her the exact same way he trained Agnes Lawson. He invited her to Lynchburg, and she spent the summer at his home practicing on his court, which was built in 1941. The same thing he did for Lawson, he did for Catherine Jones Irvis. They practiced all week long, and on the weekends, Jones Irvis would go to tournaments with Dr. Johnson, and she was cleaning up the circuit that year in 1945. She ended up at the Cosmopolitan Club in New York for the championships that year and won her first and only ATA women's title. They were runner-up in doubles 2 consecutive years in 1944 and 1945 in the mixed doubles. In 1946, Johnson would watch Althea Gibson playing tennis, and he decided with his partner, Dr. Hubert Eaton, he said to Dr. Eaton, "I want to help that girl." And they did. And in 1947, Althea Gibson came to Lynchburg, Virginia for 7 summers, and she became the reigning ATA champion, winning 7 titles in that span of time. She would end up winning 10 consecutive titles after losing in 1946. But more than that, Dr. Johnson prepared Althea Gibson to play at Forest Hills in 1950, and she did. She integrated the highest level of tennis in the history of the game that year in New York. Dr. Johnson was integral in her development as a player and a champion, and she would win 2 Wimbledons, 2 US Opens, and 1 French national title. This is our Annals of Black History lesson for the day.